Good morning and welcome to the morning break. I am Rob Patz. I'm too close. I feel very close right at the moment. We're going to give myself just a little bit more room. Feeling a little close. Last day for me before I go on vacation. Maybe that's why I want to be close to you. It's going to be a bit till I see you again. I am headed to Puerto Rico. That is about as much Spanish right there as I speak. Should be an interesting adventure since I found out that where we're staying, English is not as common. Now, if you go to San Juan, it's real easy. It's very common. So I'm very thankful for a wife who is really pretty fluent in her Spanish. She's been brushing up a little here and there. So we'll be good. And I've learned a couple of words, basically, where's the bathroom, and a few others. And thank you. Gracias. And that's about it. That's about all I got. So we're going to be on vacation. Going to be a couple of weeks away for the morning break, but it should not be as sad as you think, because you can go to the on-demand section and there are currently 15 episodes of the morning break that you can watch on there. So if you miss me, which I hope you do, you can go there and check us out. We've got some great shows, some great interviews. And today, kind of a special edition, and I'm super excited about this. You know, last night on the network, you could have watched Salted, and this lady is part of the team there. Vivian Cummins is here this morning. She is going to co-host with me. This is something new. You know, I talked about we're coming up to 1 year on the show of doing the morning break, and Vivian is one of our first in a guest series of co-hosts. So Vivian will be with us on occasion. I'm not going to stress her out by saying how often, but she will be with us. Vivian, it's good to see you this morning.
Good to see you too. We are twinning this morning. You and I both are wearing blue. So look at that.
Feels good. It is. It's a good day. It is hot as Hades here in Ohio. Literally, you know, and the thing people don't understand, it's warm. I don't care how cool the air conditioning. You flip on the studio lights and this place becomes like a sauna. It is a sauna this morning here in the studio. But you know what cools you off? And I gotta tell you this. One of my favorite things, and I was never an ice cream guy, but now ice cream cools me off.
Yeah.
And Vivian, today, by the way, is Weird Flavor Day, celebrating weird flavors. What is the weirdest ice cream flavor you've ever had?
You know what? This is so funny. My daughter used to work at an ice cream store when she was in high school. It's called Rob's Frosted Creamery. And she used to bring home all of these weird concoctions that she would make. And she'd bring it home and put it in the freezer. There was one night where my husband and we got a hankering for some ice cream. And so we pulled out her ice cream and it had so much stuff in it, Rob. It had chunks of brownies. It had sprinkles. It had walnuts. It had all these weird things. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it may have even had like gummies or something. But anyways, we were like, this looks so disgusting, but we wanted ice cream. And so my husband and we get some spoons and we dig in. And you know what? We ate that entire deal of ice cream. And so the next day she's like, who ate my ice cream? And we're like, I don't know. But it was so good.
So there's a place here in Ohio, and what you just described, they called the garbage can. And I really totally believe what happens is they throw everything that's at the end of its life cycle. And they put it all into that ice cream. And to me, I'm a purist. I got to be honest with you. I've eaten some strange ice creams, not by choice, but for me, just regular ice cream. Just give me some chocolate.
Yeah.
And I'm set. Or even vanilla. I think you get to a certain age there and you like a little, just some little bit of vanilla ice cream there to kind of settles the tummy.
I don't know. I gotta have a little something. So I like strawberry cheesecake is my newest thing. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a base of cheesecake, and then there's some drizzles of strawberries, and then sometimes they put like vanilla wafers in it. And so that's my go-to right now. I love that.
See, still chocolate for me. My wife is like, That's her thing. Ice cream, when we met, see, I didn't really like ice cream. That's not my thing. I like
Mhm.
chocolate cake. That's like, so I'll eat ice cream
Ah,
with cake or something like that, but I'm not really an ice cream person. Well, I met her.
me either.
That's been 8 years now. And
Mm,
now like she searches out ice cream places. So
mm,
we have to have ice cream pretty like the trip to Puerto Rico, like literally one of the things it's a family trip. It's a group of my mother and father-in-law, my brother-in-law, sister-in-law, and my niece are going with us. So it's the seven of us will be there. They have been searching out ice cream places. Now, I got to be honest with you. I have not been searching out ice cream places. I have been searching out coffee plantations. And I want to
coffee.
thank the great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee. Listen, I've talked about this a lot on the show, but I love 7 Weeks Coffee. And somebody else here on this interview right now has also had some 7 Weeks Coffee. So,
Yeah.
Vivian, have you tried any yet?
I have. My husband and I, brewed a pot this morning. I got the Hope. Each type of coffee has a name, brand, or whatever, and mine is Hope. I love that.
That's awesome. See, I get the dark roast. That's my
Yeah.
hope. If I don't have the dark roast, I don't have hope for the day.
Yeah.
But listen, they've got a great deal going on right now. Get the variety pack, pick up the discounts they have. They told me they wouldn't tell me some of the discounts because they want you to go to their website at 7weekscoffee.com. When you order, use the promo code ATV10. When you order, it helps them to know where they're spending their money is working. We appreciate them. They've been with us now for almost a year and a half, and we are so thankful to 7 Weeks Coffee. Remember what I always told you: grab the variety pack, whether you like Hope, and everybody loves Hope. I mean, we all should have Hope, or their breakfast blend, or as I do, which is their dark roast. It is amazing. Go check it out at their website, 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10. Hey, listen, the other thing that I found out about, 70% of people this year, Vivian, are traveling by car for vacation, which
Mm.
not sound even like a fun vacation to me. But
Well, I
are
don't
you
know. It can be. It can be.
now are you into this whole trend with freeze-dried snacks?
I do love freeze-dried snacks. I love snacks. I'm a snacker.
You and my
I know. I
wife are
love it.
snackers. Like literally, so like one of the plans for our vacation this year has been what snacks are we taking? And
That's right.
I know I'm a little late to the table on this whole freeze-dried snack thing, but the great folks at my-snackies.com have been a great sponsor for the last 6 months here on my show and on the network. And I appreciate them. I don't know. I don't know if I'm hip enough. I got to be honest with you, Vivian. I don't know if I'm hip enough to be eating freeze-dried snacks. I think that ship has sailed. I think I'm too old for that.
You are not too
Because
old.
I think it has to be somebody pretty cool. And I'm not, but you can be cool. Head to my-snackies.com. Use the promo code ATV when you order and let them know. Hey, Vivian and I will be back. We've got a great guest today. We're going to talk about that after this.
Behind every precious life, there was a choice. Behind every family moment, behind every special memory, there was a choice. A life of joy. A life that is beautifully and wonderfully made. At 7 Weeks Coffee, we are funding the pro-life movement, one cup at a time. Will you let your coffee serve a greater purpose?
Okay, I tried to get cute with a bumper. That did not work. We're not going to ever do that again. That was weird. But it's what happens. 7 Weeks Coffee. Remember, used the promo code ATV10. And we have a great guest today. I'm excited about this. Tell everybody about our guest.
Yes, y'all are going to love our guest today. And here's the deal. I think one of the most powerful ways that we can share our faith is through our stories and testimonies, and I'm a huge storyteller, and that is why I love our guest so much, cuz he's made it his life's mission to tell testimonies and stories, gather them together to help other people. And so joining us today is Charles Wagner, who is the founder of Gramazon.
You
And
said
just to
it right.
I did say it right. I'm gonna let Charles tell you all about Gramazon. But Charles, thank you so much for joining us today. It is such a great pleasure to see you again.
I am so grateful to be invited. Thank you so much. And Rob, I've got to say, the entire world revolves around mint chocolate chip and coffee ice cream.
Mint chocolate chip and coffee ice cream together?
No, separately.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
that's what mood I'm in.
Now my mom was a big mint chocolate chip person. I don't know, green ice cream. I don't like really anything green. Like I don't like salad. I don't like green beans, green peppers. Anything green really is not in my spinach. Although I do eat kale now. I'm really proud of myself as I like kale chips. Like my wife will make them like homemade. So I guess that's the green thing. But green ice cream, I don't know. Now my wife loves it, and like I just look away. Like if we're eating it together, I just
Look away.
look, it's green, and I don't know. It doesn't even look good. And I like the flavor. I like mint as I like. You remember in the old days when you go to like these restaurants and they had the little peppermints? I love those, like the peppermint, the chocolate Yorks. Love those. Just ice cream, green ice cream with little chunks. Then they look like bugs too. They look like little chocolate bugs.
You're taking away my appetite for it.
I know, right? Rob, stop.
Yeah.
Okay,
Abort,
I will stop.
I owe her an answer to her question. So, yes, Gramazon is the name of the ministry. It's a play on Amazing Grace, just to kind of reshuffle the words around a little bit. I get Gramazon a lot, but that's fine. It's Gramazon. And so Rob and Vivian knows my story. I had her on my radio show a year or two ago. But I experienced a real dark season at, say, 2002, 2010, somewhere around there. And I was very depressed. I was hospitalized for suicidal ideation. And you know what I wanted, Rob? I wanted stories of people who had overcome adversity. And I'd been a believer, evangelical, but for some reason I was willing to take secular stories, like some atheist who overcame a bad car accident. I wanted to be inspired by that. And so I started wanting to collect stories like that. And the Lord came to me one day and said, dude, the Lord talks to me that way. See,
Me too. He talks to me just like that. Well, I'm glad he doesn't call you dude.
So he said, dude, what are you doing collecting stories that have nothing to do with Jesus Christ? And I had no answer for that. Right. So that became my life's mission, is to now kind of collect testimonies of how Jesus Christ has transformed people's lives. Well, the first place I looked first place I thought where you should find testimonies is on a church website. To me, it makes sense. I'm going to get passionate. I'm sorry. I get really passionate about this, but here you have our neighbor down the street who thinks they can't live another day. Shouldn't they know that, that Bible-believing church down the street got stories? Not only do they have stories of people just like me that have been divorced, but you know what? I could walk into the church and relate with these people. So I was shocked. I did a study of like over 2,000 churches, and less than 3% even hinted that there were stories or testimonies that believers had. So that kind of came the mission of Gramazon. Our mission is to encourage and equip people to share their testimonies. And also we want to encourage churches to publish them. And so real quick, I'll wrap it up here with an introduction to Gramazon, but our goal is now a pretty far away, but it's also pretty huge scope, and our God's a big God. We would like to have a weekend celebration in September of 2030, where the church nationwide celebrates 50,000 testimonies that have been published on 5,000 church websites. That sounds like a lot, but our God created the universe. So I think, So that's kind of my introduction here.
I love that. And so your goal by 2030 is to get 5,000 churches to have testimonies on their website, and you want 50,000 testimonies total, right?
So that's like 10 per church. Do the math.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So if you think of it this way, it's like 100 churches per state, if you want to say it that way. So why can't that be achievable? So, anyways,
and Charles, you've got something going on right now that you've shared with me, and it's the Gramazen Testimony Center. And I'm very grateful and honored to be a part of that. And I'd love for you to share kind of what that is and how how you're building it and what all you're doing there.
Well, sure. Vivian, as we've discussed, there are many websites out there. I won't mention names, but they aggregate news stories, right? They don't actually publish the news themselves, but they provide hundreds of links. So here's a link about some natural disasters, a link about something they're discussing in Congress, right? You click on the link and you go to the site that has the news. So I thought, well, that would be really interesting. What if Gramazen didn't host testimonies, but we publish links to testimonies? So my team, as of this morning, let me quickly, is it on the screen? Yeah, we've got, let me click on this real quick, search the library. We've got 1,537 testimony links on our website now. And boy, you can thank one person really, and a woman named Ashton, who's done all this wonderful work. But she is searching the internet for believers who are sharing their testimonies on YouTube or some other video platform, and we're adding it to the database. Vivian and Rob, and for anybody who's listening, it's searchable. So you can say, find me testimonies in this database of divorce. And now you got a list of video testimonies of people talking about divorce. And then there was this person I know, her name might be Vivian, who thought it would be a good idea to have a list of topics. So now the database creates, engineers and programming, a list of topics. So now you can actually go to this topics page and just look at all the different topics in there and click on it, and you see videos that are about that topic. So we're very excited about this. We have 1,500 now. This is because of Ashton's great research. But what we're looking forward to is when people begin to really use this, that they come to us and say, here's a testimony here, here's a testimony here, here's a testimony here. So this thing grows to 5,000, 10,000 testimonies, or 50,000.
So Charles, are you saying then that people can go to your website and submit a link to something they've created? Is that kind of your idea, or how are you working this?
Well, something just fell in my room. I don't know what that was. But yeah, so
there's nobody behind you, Charles, that we can see, so you're safe.
So yeah, right now, yeah, you can use our contact form to give us that information. But again, like right now, we're basically using this wonderful intern. But yes, we would love to have people reach out to us and say, here's a testimony, here's a testimony. Vivian shared a testimony with me. We got it right up there. So it would be fantastic. So what the vision of this is all part of the big master plan here, is that when people think, I want to find a testimony about this topic, they think of the Gramazen Testimony Center, and we've got a link to hopefully dozens of videos on that topic.
This is wonderful. I love this so much, Charles, because I love the authenticity and the vulnerability of this, because, a lot of times we go through things, and y'all know my story, we go through things, but there's a purpose in it. Right. God allows us sometimes to go through some adversity in life, but if we will take a moment and partner with him and determine what the purpose is of that, and it's sharing it with others, because just like you said, there might be someone right down the street from me who is going through the same thing that I've already went through, and they need to hear and see how God got me through that, so that they know that there's hope for them as well. And so one of the things I love so much is these are real people. you know,
Yes.
and these are people who have, like you said, some of them don't even know Jesus, and they came to him, through their whatever it is that they, suffered from, whether it was abuse or cancer or something like that. And it's authentic and it's real, and people can resonate and relate to these stories, and that's what I love so much about what you're doing here.
Yeah, I don't want to go off on a philosophical tangent here, but I think it's so important that believers are presented as broken people that found deliverance through Jesus Christ. We're not holier than thous. We're not perfect people to go into churches. We're quite broken. You know what? I've been walking with the Lord for a long time. I'm still broken. There's God still working with me a lot. And I want people that don't know the Lord to say, you know what? They're not better than me. They don't think they're better than me. They're willing to be very vulnerable. Now I can be vulnerable, and maybe I can come into their church and find out more about Jesus. That's kind of the thinking.
I love that so much.
I do
What do you
too. I
think,
love that.
Rob? I know. I see the wheels are spinning in your head, Rob.
So here's the thing that I think that is most important on this, because when you said that, Charles, about people finding churches. So if a church has testimonies on their page already, what a great way. If somebody clicks on it and they live in that region, that's a great advertisement for the church also. So that because I assume the way your system works, it redirects them back to the page that it was on, correct?
It that's all it does. They click on the link, it goes to the video wherever it was published. Some are published on church websites, some are published on YouTube, wherever they're published. Now, I do want to put a little disclaimer in here. Where we have limited resources, we try to make sure every testimony is biblical, but we can't promise. But we're doing our best to make sure that that's the case. And so we put our beliefs on there in case there's anybody that questions what we're doing. But that we're definitely we're preferring sources, ministries, churches that really confess the Bible's the inspired word of God. Jesus is the only way of salvation. We're not just trying to get any testimony.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
I know you have a big goal for, what was it, 2030. So I would love for you to talk, if you could share with us a little bit more about that vision, because you're calling it, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, Gramazon Streamy Weekend.
Oh, well, that's another thing. That's actually a different thing we're working on. But I was on the radio for a year and a half. I interviewed over 100 Christian influencers. One of them was Vivian. You were one of my first guests. I thank you for that.
That was so fun.
So yeah, Vivian. So anyways, what I'm trying to do is put all those podcasts on a 24/7 streaming. It's actually running right now, and she's given me more podcasts. Other influencers have given me podcasts. So what I want to have with respect to that is a weekend sometime later this year where we just draw attention to all of these podcasts that are on Gramazon, and I want that to be the place where people know what progress we're making towards this greater vision. But I think you were asking me, Vivian, about that weekend in 2030. Am I right?
Yes, I may have gotten that mixed up. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's fine. So so what I'm visualizing is, I'm an old guy, right? I look how old I am. I'm like, you were doing an old man impression earlier. I could do it too. So, anyways, I remember Live Aid, 1985, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you had all these bands come in, two different theaters, one in Wembley Stadium, the other in Philadelphia, and it was just a day where everyone was listening to music and they're drawing attention to what was it? Famine. What was that? Yeah, famine in Ethiopia. I think that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of inspired me. So why not a weekend, like a Saturday in particular? So there could be events all across the country. There could be a concert in Atlanta, maybe another concert in Denver. Maybe there's a road race in Chicago. Maybe there's, I don't know. Give me some more ideas. There's people jumping out of airplanes in Arizona. I don't know. Something's all tied into this one day where we're celebrating nationwide 50,000 testimonies that have been shared by 5,000 church websites. It's to invite the media in to say, what is this going? What are all these Christians celebrating? Why do you invite the media in? Because then people watching their TV oh, churches have testimonies, right? And so now they're drawn into checking out the church websites. Yes, I'm trying to backhanded put pressures on pastors. Dude, if you don't have any testimonies on your website when your neighbors are looking for it that weekend, that could be a problem. But anyways, so that would be Saturday. Then Sunday, the churches have follow up with, okay, they invite their neighborhood in. They have a day about testimonies, right? They have sermon about testimonies. They have tables to greet people about testimonies. So it's a 1-2 thing. One, the nationwide media attention. Next day, the local churches follow up with it. That's kind of the vision.
I love that. That's such a cool idea. Charles, give them the website so they can find you.
All right. www.gramazin.com, and I better spell that. That's GRAMAZIN.com. Gramazin. Again, it's a play on Amazing Grace.
Yeah, that's so cool. So we try to do this on a lot of the shows that I do. One piece of advice for somebody that's starting a ministry like you're doing now.
One piece of advice. Well, you've absolutely, you know what comes to mind when you first say that? I wasn't prepared for that question, but what comes to my mind, I think what the Lord's telling me to say is he doesn't need us. He doesn't need us to do any ministry whatsoever. Our God that created the world by blinking his eyes and speaking, uttering with his mouth, he can do everything in ministry, but he loves us so much. He welcomes us in and says, you know what? I could transform the community. Let's just throw Springfield, Illinois out. I could transform Springfield, Illinois on my own, but I invite all these other believers to now take part of it so they can feel that they're a part of the ministry. So it's really, when you're starting a ministry, it's really Christ that's doing the work. He's just welcoming you in, like you're involved in building his kingdom. So I think it's a good place to start. That we're really not needed. We're really not needed. No ministry is needed, but Christ in his love for us says, okay, it's like a dad handing a wrench to a kid, but here, unscrew this bolt in the car for me or something, Yep. The dad can do it on his own, but he wants the kid to feel like he's participating. So.
Awesome. Thanks, Charles, for being with us today on the Morning Break. We appreciate you. Vivian, you've done a great job. First episode. Catch her on Salted every month, and plus here on the Morning Break with Rob Patz. She's going to be a kind of a floating host. We're excited about having Vivian as part of it. Remember, check out Salted every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, and again at midnight Eastern time, which is crazy time. Makes me want to go to sleep already. I am already going, oh, that's late. Anyway, Vivian, thanks for being with us on today's edition. Appreciate you so very much. And man, where did the time go? It went by way too fast. I will see you guys in about 2 weeks. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, 1st of July and the first morning break of the month.